And we're live. Hello, my name's
Hello.
April or Creative Faye. This is Tim or Golem Wolf, and Fabrizio Aiello. He has no handle.
I'm non-anonymous. I've already doxed myself at this point.
Sounds good. Yeah, I was just telling Creative Faye that this my Gollum Wolf is an Xbox handle came up until like 2002, and every time you go to a website that needs a username, like that one just was always available, so I just kind of
Yeah.
stuck. I was like, that's such a cool, edgy, barbarian name.
It is a cool name. I have a
Thank you.
username that I've been using forever. It's
Hmm.
not nearly as cool. It's Spoon Shoe, and I've had that thing for 20 some years, a
I
million
love it.
years.
I love it.
So is that going to be like a villain for Horse H. Hoover?
Oh, that'd be great.
I never planned on it. It was just one of those. Yeah, it was just early days of the internet.
Sure.
AOL kind of thing. I picked it, and then, like you said, it. Anytime I needed to come up with a username, it was always available. So it just
Right.
became, my go-to.
Right. Yeah. And then I thought, well, since I'm doing a barbarian comic, I guess it just works, so I might as well stick with it.
So you're working on inking page one of your comic?
Yep, this is page one right here. After watching one of Fabrizio's videos, I wised up and decided to do a blue line, which ended up being for the best because I did a couple test pages and screwed them up immediately. So this is a second printing of the blue line, and yeah, I got the script done. I wrote it Marvel style, so it's all scene one, this many pages, this is what happens, kind of a thing, and
Cool.
yeah. So I'm right now. I've got it set to do 20 pages. I'm not sure if I want to do more or not because I do want to break it down into individual issues, just so I can get them done a little quicker. Because the idea of doing like a 120 page big graphic novel, I just like I feel like I would take forever to get that done. So this is my first book I'm doing ever, so I thought it might be nice to try to shrink it a bit.
Same
That's
here.
cool.
Yeah,
We got two amateurs and a pro.
exactly.
I don't know. I'm professional nothing.
Well, you've published, so you've got me beat at least.
Yeah. Um, we all learn. Like, the one thing I do love about comics is you learn after every single page. It's
For
not
sure.
even every issue. Every page, you're getting closer to it. So
Right,
as those
right.
pages stack, it does feel pretty nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, it's funny because I streamed the first attempt at penciling this page, and I was happy with it at the time. I posted them in our Instagram because I was like, I'm not sure which ones I like better, and I don't know, just something about it wasn't sitting right with me because as I was drawing it, I was just like, I feel like I've learned better, and so I ended up redrawing it, and I'm glad I did. I thought, yeah, I think this layout, I think is a little bit cooler, and because I want people to be like, why is this giant hulking guy? Why is his hands bound? And who's this silhouette character here? And hopefully people will find it fun.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed from the first one was that you were at a higher angle. It was
Right.
down. So
Yeah, I was trying. Yeah, my initial thought was, trying to establish the, do an establishing shot. I have a film background, so it's like, you want to do the big wide establishing shot of the camp that they're in, and then of course once you do that, you got to fill it up with detail. I don't know. It just felt kind of empty, and in hindsight, and it's like, I don't know. I thought it worked all right, perspective wise, although there was some issues with it, but those are easy to fix. But I don't know. It was really far away, and I think it was hard to tell what was going on.
yeah,
So
wasn't on the character, so you didn't have a look into who they were.
Exactly.
And when I went to school for comics, my teacher always talked about how part of the establishing shot is it's basically a key shot, so it's supposed to have everything that you're going to have in the page in it. So it's supposed to establish like a relationship between characters
Sure.
and any objects. If you're going to introduce characters, have them kind of silhouetted and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because for storytelling, there's the one-page rule. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I have not.
Mm-mm.
What's
So
the one-page rule?
So basically, it's every page needs to answer its own questions.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so if you show a silhouetted figure, at some point you need to establish who that is.
Okay.
That way, if it can work as its own individual story.
Interesting. That makes sense.
And then there's artists that break that rule all the time.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Yeah, I was kind of playing this up as a movie in my head. I'm sure everybody does that, but yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to have her like in shadow, and then because she's kind of like a stealthy rogue chick, and she's trying to get him out of there because she's a wannabe, merc trying to make it big, make money, and she knows this guy Domini is a well-known guy with all these different legends and songs written about him, and so she's like hoping to basically, if I rescue him, then he's going to be guilted into helping me, and I can make a bunch of money off of his, saying, hey, I worked with this guy. And so you're going to see her going all stealthy and doing some cool stuff. But yeah, I have my big reveal page where you really see Domini in action. I'm really excited about that. So.
And how about you, Fabrizio? What page are you working on?
This is 36, I think. So I'm like at the last few pages of issue 4.
Okay.
So it's exciting, and I just can't wait to finish at this point. So
I hear you.
End of this week, I'll have these inked, and then it's lettering and coloring, which is kind of like the downward slope for me. Inking is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's execution. To me, penciling is the hardest. Coming up with layouts, making sure everything is good, storytelling. Inking can get tedious.
Mm-hmm.
But then, man, coloring and lettering are that's the fun stuff.
So how do you go about your lettering? Do you use computer fonts or?
Yeah, I definitely don't hand letter. I've looked into hand lettering before. I even bought like the Ames lettering guide and all that jazz. Mm-hmm. I've never done it. So currently I use Affinity. I was using Illustrator for many years, but I finally made the switch to Affinity. And I love it. So, yeah.
Okay.
It goes pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, lettering is not something I've really have a whole lot of experience with. Was it Terry Moore did a great video on YouTube explaining the Ames guide because he uses it for hand lettering, and so I bought one. And of course, sure enough, I'm just like, how does this work? Even though I watched the video, I'm just like, wait a second, wait a minute.
I mean, unless you are Terry Moore, making
right.
Like I can't see it being useful for like an indie book,
for sure.
Unless you have a ton of time. Mm-hmm. I don't. I'm sure none of us do really.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and I like to, I'm one of those artists like when I like to see it first, and then like once I see it, then I like being able to kind of play around with it a little bit. And to me, it's like, I mean, obviously, if you letter it in pencil first, you can adjust it. But it's like then you got to ink the lettering, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Hello.
Hey, that's my mom. Hi, Mom.
Diane.
She's a fan of me.
We all need good things.
Don't we, though? I have no problem telling people my mom's a badass.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with doing hand lettering on the 3 pages I did
Okay.
Oh, cool.
for my Cerebus comic. I've been doing hand lettering. I could show you. Just do this.
Oh, yeah.
Back at you.
Thanks, Mom. But yeah, I know it's like I love the idea of, having pages, fully colored and lettered like all in one. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
That's awesome.
I haven't been using the Ames letter. I probably should, but
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I love it.
But that's not the page I'm working on today. I'm working on page 3 of my own comic.
Gotcha.
I
Have
do
you?
like small layouts.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh, cool. Have you said anything about what the story is?
Oh, it's going to be a dark fantasy, so let me get you.
Right on.
There we go. And it's a fantasy adventure, so the main character, he thinks he's cursed, and so he leaves his adopted mother behind, and the traveling minstrels that he performs with behind to go find the place where wishes come true.
Oh,
Try to relieve the curse from him.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping it will be.
Is that the character that you put in the thumbnail?
Yeah,
Okay, I love that design.
thank you. He's my little jester. I made the character back in high school,
Okay.
and I had the idea for the story since then, but it's gone through some phases of figuring out how I wanted to create it
Oh, sure.
visually and just figuring out the world building. And then I've always been one that kind of gets distracted by other ideas too. So
Oh, I feel that. I feel that.
Curse.
I have so many dang ideas that I want to do.
yeah,
The reason I went with this barbarian story is I just felt like, since this is my first book, I want to give myself as many, to use a D&D term, as many boons as possible, advantages as possible. And I feel like I'm much more comfortable drawing this kind of stuff than some of my other stories that I want to do.
yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fun. Yeah, way too many story ideas. So
Yeah, I know. That's one of Jake Parker's recommendations is do a short story.
mm-hmm.
And I also was thinking of doing that. And then at one point I was just like, I'm just putting the story off because I think I'm not good enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to start practicing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Just do it.
Yeah, we all get stuck in the tutorial phase, and
Oh my god, yeah.
it's terrible. It really is. Before I did the first issue for Horse H. Hoover, and I was like, I don't know what kind of style I'm going to do. I really had a bunch of questions. I didn't know the coloring. I'm like, you know what? I'll do some fake covers to comics. I'll do some fake interiors, and through that, I'll kind of narrow it down. And I spent way too much time doing that. Now, admittedly, it was useful. I answered some questions.
Sure.
But I mean, I could have used those pages. I could have used that time to actually work on a story.
Right.
I get that.
Well, it's fun. No, go ahead.
Why I started the little Cerebus story. It's just going to be a 6-page story, but I was finding that I was too indecisive. Like I'd redo pages multiple times trying to get them done perfectly, and I was like, I need to just be a little bit more decisive and get used to drawing big.
Yeah.
I was drawing on that, I think it's 8.5 by 10 paper.
Okay.
So yeah, not very suitable for movie comics. I mean, you can, but there's less.
Well,
detail.
some people do it. Like, doesn't like, I've heard, it was like Travis Charest. Doesn't he draw in like super, like post-it note style or like postcard style size paper?
Really? I didn't know that.
Well, that's what Aaron Lepresti's mentioned that on Graybeards. He said he was sitting next to him once at a con, and he had a bunch of his original covers for sale. I think there were some Captain America covers. Yeah, and he said they were basically the size of like not post-it note, a postcard. And he said they were just incredibly detailed and just insane. What you expect is Travis Charest, but yeah, he said they're just really small pages, and that thought, especially knowing what he does, it's like that just blows me away that he could fit all that detail in it. I know.
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like, man, could you just, not being so awesome? Save some of that for the rest of us.
Next, he'll do a comic page on a grain of rice.
Right.
I will say this: I've done a lot of sketch cards.
Okay.
And if you see any of my sketch cards, I make them as detailed as possible. And it wasn't. I didn't have any like ulterior motives. It was just like, well, I didn't know any other way to do it. And
Sure.
I did notice that after I did a bunch of these tiny little sketch cards, and I went to my comic book pages, it made my drawing in general better. Just because sometimes you have to draw really small in a panel.
Yeah.
And those can be really difficult.
For sure.
So all of a sudden, now that you mentioned that about Travis, I'm like, damn it, maybe that's like the
maybe that's the key. Yeah.
Secret sauce.
I'm going to draw every page now at a 5x7.
Yeah. The only thing is when it gets blown up to comic size.
Yeah.
If you're drawing small, then every flaw in it.
Oh, sure. For sure.
Exaggerated.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I don't have flaws in my drawing, so I'll be.
Well,
I'll be
right.
fine.
Are you sure about that?
For the rest of us plebs, we need all the help we can get. But well, yeah, because most of my time drawing has always been, I've always been that guy that like get the small pencil and draw real small and just try to fit as much detail in that small space as possible. I don't know why. That's just the way I've always kind of done it. And so for me, just transitioning to these larger paper was a challenge because I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do with all that space. And but as I've been learning to get more broad with my strokes and a bit more gestural, and you're like, oh, I can do more stuff. And
yeah, I'm a huge fan of Silvestri's early stuff, like his X-Men stuff. And I'm always blown away by how tiny, like, all of the drawings are, and how accurate they are, though. Like,
yeah,
it just blows my mind.
Sure.
These tiny, tiny little characters, but you can still read their gesture. You can tell who they are.
Yeah, I know. I go back and forth a lot between I was looking at a lot of old school Silvestri. Like I've been reading some of the old Darkness comics just for fun. And like you said, you just see some of that crazy detail line art. It just looks so good. And so then I'm like, I want to draw like that. And then I'll go see some old school, Mike Mignola, and it's just like everything's black except for a bunch of highlights, and it's so simple, but yet it's so readable. So then you're like, oh, I want to draw like that.
Yeah.
And but I don't know. As much as I try to simplify things, I don't know. I'm so much of that '90s era. Although I still haven't forgiven Jim Lee for putting Wolverine in the blue and yellow costume again. But other than that, yeah, I love that stuff.
Didn't Mark Silvestri work on Normal Man? It was like his first.
I don't know. I don't know that
It's-
one, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think I remember his name on. But because he was published through Aardvark Vanaheim, which was Dave Sims' company.
Okay.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, you definitely know a lot more about that than I do. So I will defer to you on that one.
I'm just looking it up to verify if I'm remembering that correctly.
Sounds good. Debating to see if I'm gutsy enough to try these straight lines with the brush. I don't know. Let's see.
Okay, so that wasn't what I thought it was. Oh, it was Jim Valentino.
Ah, okay.
I don't know how I got those two mixed up.
I'll forgive you. This time.
I guess. I'm losing my street cred.
I know, right?
But to be fair, I didn't start out in comics when I was younger. I was into the manga for a while.
Gotcha.
So I'm discovering Western comics now.
Okay.
There was a few that I remember reading it throughout elementary and stuff like that. Like I did read one X-Men comic. It was with these like purple aliens, and it was kind of a story that centered around Shadowcat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but the alien design was cool.
That's awesome.
I also saw like the Jack Trick, or Jack. He did like the Christian comics. Those were like the first ones.
Oh, the Chick tracks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Those are something.
Yeah.
They're kind of cool. But yeah, well, it's funny, yeah, because I mean, you know, I'm a '90s kid, so I grew up on the '90s X-Men cartoon and the Spider-Man and the Batman animated, all that stuff. So like superheroes are always around in my household, but I didn't really start reading comics regularly until I was in high school, had my own job and my own money, and so I started with Ultimate books. I got Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men, all the Ultimate stuff, and then it kind of grew from there. So every paycheck, I'd go to my local Barnes and Noble and buy the next trade, and so I got the whole Mark Bagley run of Ultimate Spider-Man, and it was awesome. Actually, no, it was funny. One exception to that was I was a big Punisher fan growing up, and it was when the Tom Jane movie came out. That was probably, what year did that come out? 2004, so I'd have been like 15, something like that. But anyway, so there was one little comic book store nearby, and I walked in there. My mom had to go shop somewhere in the mall, and I'm like, I'm not following you around the store, so she just dropped me off at the comic book shop while she was doing her thing. And I go to the guy at the store counter and say, "Hey, do you have any Punisher books?" And he's like, "Yeah, here you go. Might as well start with issue 1." So he gave it to me, and I didn't open it until I got home, realizing that was the first issue of Punisher Max by Garth Ennis. And so, if you're not familiar with that, that's one of the most violent comics you'll ever find at the time. And of course, as a 15-year-old kid, I was like, "Sweet." And, but yeah, it was funny.
For Marvel comics, I got into the movie. They had this movie on the Sci-Fi Channel, Man Thing.
Oh yeah.
I liked the design of the characters. I ended up looking into the comics, and I got a couple of the essentials. So
That's cool.
that was one of my favorites. I'm more partial to monster characters.
Sure. Well, once I discovered Wolverine, it was over. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's my dude."
Yeah, just couldn't get enough of Wolverine. Like,
same.
There's something about that character, because obviously it was different artists, different writers doing things with him, and it was still all immensely popular.
Mm-hmm. Well, he was that gruff, tough guy, but he was a good guy, and I always really liked how he kind of became that pseudo father figure for like Kitty Pryde and later on Rogue. I always kind of liked that about him. But but he was that guy who was not going to take any crap from anybody, and yet he was the good guy. I don't know. I mean, of course, he had claws and all that stuff too. So like that's just awesome.
Yeah, nobody really walked around saying that Cyclops was their favorite character.
That's true.
I always felt Cyclops and Jean Grey the most annoying characters in the animated series.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cyclops got done dirty in the movies, like the Bryan Singer movies, but yeah, no, it's like, I mean, yeah, because in some of those old comics, he's actually pretty awesome, but yeah, they made him really whiny in the movies. And you're just like, oh god. So about you, Fabrizio, what was your introduction into the world of comics?
I mean, I'm quite a bit older, so it was 80s.
Seasoned, I would say.
So I had comics around my house before I could read. So they were just they were there, and I'd flip through them, and eventually, as I learned to read, I learned to read the comic books. So my first memory, I would say, of buying a comic book is probably 6 years old, something like that.
Okay.
It's Marvel, like the Hulk. So it was before comic book shops. It was newsstands, So anytime I had 50 cents, you run to the newsstand. And it was pretty, pretty stock Marvel, and not a lot of DC, mostly Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to college, I had $0 to my name.
Right.
So I kind of stopped collecting or buying for, 4 or 5 years. And things changed a lot in those 4 or 5 years.
Sure.
And then at that point, it was like the Witchblade era, Fathom, like the Michael Turner stuff.
Yeah.
So the art was just really different than what I was used to.
Yeah.
But I would say the thing that really brought me back into comics was like Sin City, Hellboy, Frank Miller stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Eventually the Goon. So I was picking up kind of anything non-Marvel DC for a very, very long time.
Gotcha.
I've read the Goon a little bit on some of the bootleg sites.
What's that?
I've read the Goon a little bit on some of the bootleg sites.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good book. I'm more of a fan of the art than the stories, but.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love a lot of the art I've seen of that. Just this dude with the old, style hat, just punching the crap out of zombies. I'm like, I love that image. Yeah, I have a long list of those books that I need to read. A lot of those old classics because I missed a lot of those. And like the Goon is definitely up there. like I said, I'm a movie guy too. So like I literally have a Google document list of all these movies that I need to see, and so I got another one going with all these comics I need to read. And
What are some of the movies?
oh man, let's see. I'm trying to remember now. Put me on the
That's
on the
right.
spot. Here, let me pull it up. I can look
Okay.
at it for.
I was just
Oh,
gonna say, well,
well, Mouth of Madness is
that's a good
one.
one. Yeah.
I've been in a bit of a old like 40s era like crime fiction. So like I've seen the Maltese Falcon, and I recently watched Double Identity, which is freaking awesome. And so I'm looking for some more, a lot of those types. There's the um yeah, it's hold on, let me pull up the doc here.
See, you've seen the In the Mouth of Madness. That is a fun one.
Yeah.
That's one that's on my list.
Oh, I think Fabrizio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. John Carpenter. It feels like a John Carpenter movie. Like it's good though.
Yeah. The Cerebus story I'm doing is a mix of They Live and In the Mouth of
Okay.
Madness.
Oh, cool.
Nice. Yeah, it's funny because my story, I'm working in a little. It's a fantasy action horror kind of story, and I don't want to spoil too much. I'll tell you more off screen if you're interested. But I'm stealing some elements from the Telltale Heart, and I thought that would be kind of a fun twist on a kind of what's normally a very stereotypical type fantasy trope, and
Yeah.
I was trying to find some way to spin it. So yeah, I was like, I don't know. I just thought of this guy just talking to himself that's not there, and you're like, what's going on? But maybe there's something a little more sinister behind
That's
it.
interesting.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought it'd be kind of fun.
I'm a big fan of pulling from different source material. Like I think a lot of comic book artists, they just read certain comics, so everybody's pulling from the same stuff.
Right.
So like go back further. Pull from pulp stuff, pull from Poe, pull from
Right.
I really think that adds like a whole other layer to it.
For sure. Well, one kind of game I love to play is when you find an artist or a piece of work or a book or something that you love. It's playing that game of, well, what inspired that creator, and then you can kind of work your way back. What inspired that person? You can kind of work your way back, and then you just find these awesome old obscure stuff that is incredible. Like I recently started diving into some of the Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff. I finished the first John Carter book, and those are so much fun. And I mean, a lot of things have already pulled from it, in pop culture. So I'm like, I don't know if I can really pull from that myself, but I don't know. There might be some elements I could steal from it. Who knows? But it's just cool. They're like, man, there's just all this gold mine of stuff that just like nobody knows about.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like reading, novels and stuff like that, I'm relatively a newbie. So I've been trying to get into all, kind of catch up. Again, I got a long list of things I want to read. Like I want to get the Poe short stories. I recently got a collection of H.P. Lovecraft stories.
Nice.
This big giant tome for like $8.
Yeah, like Lovecraft is a good example of. Oh, nice. That's a cool. I like that cover.
Oh, sweet.
I got the half price books. I think it was $5.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
like,
still on my read list. I haven't cracked into it very much.
Okay.
Read a couple of the pages.
Like Lovecraft pulled from Nathaniel Hawthorne. He pulled from Ambrose Bierce. Like a lot of sort of not typical horror writers for his stuff, but nobody really knows it, so it's okay.
Right. Well, and it's kind of cool that you're taking something that may not necessarily been for the genre you're working in, but like twisting it in its own way to make it work, and
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. But yeah, no, I like the idea, like the worlds and the some of that creep factor that he gets into. I've been in a horror mood lately, I guess, so it's kind of up my alley. But I've always been aware of his, but I haven't really read too much of his stuff. So the first story in that book is Call of Cthulhu. So I read the first little bit of it the other night, and it's pretty fascinating.
It's all about atmosphere. If you're really into that, then like you kind of can't go wrong with any of the stories.
Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not super hard to please when it comes to story, as long as it's well thought out and well. Like more recent author I'm obsessed with is Joe Abercrombie. He just came out with that book, The Devils, but which I finished and was great. But he's got that first Law series. It's you talk about atmosphere and characters. In my opinion, very few people, especially nowadays, do characters like he does. Um, he's so good at making them very um, morally gray. Like I shouldn't like this guy, but for some reason, just the way he portrays him, you just can't help but root for him, kind of thing. And then he kind of leaves it up to you as the reader to decide. Okay, do I like this character? Do I like what they're doing, or do I not? And then he has a lot of dark humor to it, which I like, that British kind of dry dark humor amidst all everything else that's going on. And I don't know where I'm going with that. I was just rambling, but yeah, you get me talking nerd stuff, I can go forever. Just ask my family.
I think that's all of us through the sphere.
Yeah. Well, I have my go-to. It's like, I have a nerd rant for that. I'll spare you, but I have a nerd rant. But I'm just glad to be among people I can say Magnola and people know what I'm saying.
Have you guys read any of Magnola's other spin-off series with the Ape Sapien or the BPRD?
I'm not.
It's been a while. I think I have one Abe Sapien story that I read, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, I feel like those stories get into kind of like the cosmic horror, where there's more about like the ambiance and the things are as they are. Like if you read the newer series, it's
So I'm having a little hard time hearing you there.
oh, sorry, it's my headset.
No, you're good.
No, thank you. I think it's like Ape Sapien Darkness. The series.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be the people are turning into monsters.
Hmm.
And the BPRD is actually after him because they think he's the key and Hellboy's dead. It's an interesting series.
Okay.
And then there was also the one where he meets the ghost of his former wife because he used to be human. So it gives the backstory and stuff.
Cool.
Probably should explore it. And then there's Canyon, which was another spin-off series where it follows a character that's a mummy lady. From ancient Egypt. Which Noah stories do you guys like?
Sorry, what was that?
Which Mignola stories?
Oh, I'll just full transparency. I know his art a lot better than I know his stories. I've read some of the early Hellboy stuff. It's been a long time, so I can't say I remember too much of it. But yeah, I've always been a fan of his, just the way he places blacks and just those real bold shapes, but yet you still understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's funny. I read Hellboy when it came out, which was a very very long time ago.
Right.
Seed of Destruction, I think that was the very first one. Still probably my favorite, even after all the other stuff, which is funny because it's really just a straight up Lovecraft kind of steal. Really,
Sure.
I mean, and I have no problem with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Right.
As he kind of went on, I don't know. The stories were. I don't think they were as good. The art was great. They were atmospheric, but I don't know. I nothing.
What was
kinda
it that fell off, do you think? Then was it they just come too samey, do you think? Or
It, I mean, and this is just my take. It
Sure.
really felt like it was all about the image.
Ah.
And I don't know, like there were really rarely any sort of scenes that kind of stuck out. Maybe a little clever twist here or there or something, but I don't know. And then once you stop buying them and they kind of lose favor, I never went back.
Right.
So, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they got great, but. And I think John Byrne wrote the first one or helped maybe rewrite
Oh, really?
Seed of Destruction.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think you're right on that. Because Mike Mignola wasn't confident in his own writing at the time. So, in his documentary, he talks about getting help on that.
Interesting.
I don't know if you're familiar with the comic book artist that made Sam and Max, Detectives for Hire, but apparently they were roommates at one time too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Sam and Max. I can't say I know a whole lot about it. But yeah, that's cool. I remember I read some interview with Mignola saying when he first started Hellboy, like he said he felt very self-conscious about drawing female characters. So he said Hellboy just never had a girlfriend until another artist took over, which I thought was kind of funny.
It is funny to hear like such legends talk about like insecurities in the drawing.
Right. No, for sure. Well, yeah, it kind of makes me feel a little better, honestly, about myself because I'm like, well, if you feel like you do and you draw them like you do, then maybe there's hope for me.
Honestly, one of the big hurdles that I had to get over was I felt like, this is a while ago now, but I felt like I would put pencils down and I would erase and put them down and erase, and that meant that I couldn't draw. And I watched Jim Lee stream Twitch, and he was doing Superman pages, start to finish.
Oh, I've seen those. Yeah.
And they're incredible. And I'm like, wait a minute, he erases 1,000,000 times.
Right.
Like, I saw him do this face 15 times. He still didn't like it, and I'm like, holy cow! You just have to be like easier on yourself.
Right. Yeah, and because I watched that, and I saw he did that cover, that Superman cover that he did, And I remember he had quite a lot of the details done. Like he was polishing it up, and then just decided he didn't like Superman's leg placement at that moment, and just straight up erased it, despite all of the work he'd already done. And of course, all of us watching were just collective. You could just feel the gasps of everybody between the the internet. But he's just like, I've drawn it before. I'll do it again. I'm just like, geez. But yeah, see, for me, I always read that as, well, those guys are just confident from skill and experience, which I don't have. So I got to build up to that. And yeah, so I was one of those guys. Yeah, kind of like that. It's like, well, I can't get this done quickly, or like I'll start drawing something and then it just doesn't. I overthink it, so I keep erasing, keep redrawing, keep erasing, keep redrawing, and then it just doesn't go anywhere. And then you just kind of like, well, I guess that means I suck. And but like one of my favorite artists is Joe Mad, and I saw some interview with him recently where well, not recently, it's an old video, but I was watching it where they're talking to him about Darksiders, and he was drawing a picture, and he's like, I'm not completely disgusted with my stuff, but I am with most of it. And I'm like, Joe Mad, you're disgusted. I'm like, dude, if I drew like you, but it's just funny because from your own perspective, like I find myself doing that too a lot, where people are like, oh, I love your art, and I'm like, thanks, and you just instinctively want to just start pointing out everything that's wrong with it. It's just like, no, I know I did this wrong, I know I did that wrong, but
we're our own worst critics,
of course. But like, you feel like you have to qualify. It's like, I know I did that wrong, so just forgive that.
Unless you're Dan Wallace, then everything you do is good. Yep. I don't know if you watch Greybeards for Breezy.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my go-tos for when I'm drawing and having them in the background. But yeah.
And, I've been listening a lot to Please Hold for Dave.
Sorry, you're coming in kind of quiet there, Faye. Which?
I said it's Greybeards, and then I also have been listening to Please Hold for Dave Sim.
Okay.
Oh.
Which there was an episode of that where he actually mentioned John's mom box because he sent in a request to do an interview with him. I know you're doing work for John's mom box.
Yeah, I think I recall John mentioning that he'd asked for an interview, but never got it or never heard back, or I don't know.
Well, his response was that he only does. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
He only does interviews through that Please Hold, which his main contact is Matt Dow. So you send your questions into Matt Dow, and then Matt Dow communicates with him.
Gotcha.
Because he doesn't use the internet.
That sounds amazing.
Right. Can't say I blame him.
His theory for the internet is driving everyone insane. Yeah. I can't say I disagree with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think insane people have always been around. It's just, we see it a lot more now with the internet. But yeah, I spent a good chunk of my life working, retail or customer service type jobs, and crazies are everywhere regardless of the internet. But you see them a lot more now. But yeah, not being on the internet for that does sound wonderful.
And he does a good Todd McFarlane impersonation.
Nice. I got to hear that. Yeah, I love doing impersonations, but yeah, Todd's a hard one for me. My you just I don't know. So every time
Kermit again.
Exactly. I sound like Kermit every time I try to do it, and
Jordan Peterson.
You're right. Well, Peterson is just Kermit with a Canadian accent. That's real. All that is. Gotta go. Go root for the lobsters.
Robert Liefeld always does a McFarlane impersonation.
Yes, this is good.
Yeah. Although I go back and forth on Rob. Like sometimes I'm like, okay. I might not like the art, but he seems okay. And then sometimes he'll just do and say things that are just pretty terrible. And I'm like, all right, maybe not.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know, dude. Yeah, I know. But one thing I can say is I do appreciate his passion for the medium. But yeah, there's definitely, you're like, okay, that's a choice, I guess. Like obviously, he has that infamous Captain America cover.
Yeah.
And and to his credit, he seems to have a pretty decent sense of humor about all that stuff. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's just like, okay. But yeah.
Have you guys gone to any comic book stores lately?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We have a pretty good one that I go to on occasion. It's called Ides downtown. So I went to it maybe 2 weeks ago. It's like 3 floors. There's comic books, CDs, DVDs, books. It's kind of famous for that.
That's awesome.
I grabbed some old issues of stuff.
Okay.
That's about it. Some Blue Beetle, some Demon.
Demon. Is that like Etrigan or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I should have said the Demon. Yeah.
No. I got you. Yeah, where I'm at, we don't have any massive comic stores like that, but we got a few pretty decent small ones. One's called Krypton Comics. Every third Saturday of the month, they have like a hangout and draw section. They have the room they usually use for like Magic the Gathering tournaments, but they open it up for artists to come and hang out. And the guy that runs it is he's a real nice dude. But yeah, I've gotten a bunch of old. I've been on a bit of a John Buscema kick lately, so I got a bunch of old John Buscema Conans from there that were very reasonably priced. And
Marvels or the Savage Sword of Conan?
The Marvels.
Yeah, you just can't go wrong with any John Buscema.
For sure. I've been trying to get Savage Sword of Conan, but like all the older issues, the ones that I want, I found are very expensive.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I want them.
I might have 8 or 9 that I just came across years ago, but that's about it.
Yeah. I did get the one recently that has the Barry Windsor. It was Barry Windsor Smith. I think is what it started with, and I think because I think he did some issues before Buscema took over. I believe I can be wrong on that, but
yeah, he did come in.
Yeah, and which that was exciting to me because I got this. This is a while ago now, but I got this giant, like 11 by 17 size print of Barry Windsor Smith's Weapon X run, and it's absolutely gorgeous book. Absolutely gorgeous. So I became a big Windsor Smith fan from that, and then I've discovered him more recently. I know I'm to turn in my nerd card a little bit. I'm like, Barry Windsor Smith's more of a recent discovery for me, but man, I love his work.
What happens? I mean, even when I grew up in the era that I did, there's tons of artists and whole runs of comics that totally passed me by. So it's
same.
Like, it just happens. People
right.
are talking about some famous run. I'm like, don't know anything about that.
Nope, not a clue. Well, that happened to me with Dale Keown. Like all of a sudden, I heard I keep people talking about Pitt, and I'm like, what is that? And then finally, I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, and the fact that the little kid's name is Tim, like I was rather fond of that. Tim gets to be friends with Pitt. Yeah.
If you're into John Buscema, do you know Ron Friends?
I know the name.
He is kind of like my second tier.
Bless you.
artist. He's got like a John Buscema feel. It's like a cross between John Buscema and Kirby.
Okay, what was his name?
Ron Friends.
Okay. Yeah. The name
Check out
sounds
his,
familiar.
yeah, check out his stuff. It's
Okay. I will
if you
do
like
that.
Buscema, like Ron Friends in the '80s, really some of the best Thor stuff. Some
Ooh.
really great stuff.
Okay. That sounds awesome. I will definitely check that out. Yeah, I got a few pages in my sketchbook where I was going through some of those old John Buscema Conans, and I'm just trying to replicate the faces and replicate some of the poses. And there's one scene in particular. I don't have the issue at hand, otherwise I'd pull it out. But yeah, it was I don't know. It was just a scene at like a tavern, and they're reveling or whatnot. And there's just one face that he drew of this dude, this reveler. He had this awesome helmet on, and I don't know, there's something about his facial expression, the way he had him drawn. It was just magical, and I'm like, I need to try to recreate that. And I mean, I didn't do as good a job as he did, obviously, but it was still like, I don't know, it was just something. It was funny. It was just this little guy, kind of non-sequential dude, just kind of in the back. But I don't know, he just made him have so much personality. And I don't know, it was just so fun.
Yeah, John Buscema's one that I need to look into.
Oh man, yeah.
I did get some.
No, go ahead.
I did get some Barry Windsor Smith recently.
Okay.
And I got his series, a couple from those series, Rune.
Rune, yeah. I haven't read it, but I'm familiar with it.
I'm trying to grab the first copy.
Was that the Malibu thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think David Williams drew him once on Graybeards, if I remember right.
Like, I read the first issue, and I wasn't sure if the comic book store would have the second two. So I went, like, Friday, and I got a couple. These are the ones that I got.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
I also got some Sludge.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got to track down some Sludge. One actual recent discovery I had at one of my comic stores I was really excited about was they had some Mark Texeira Punisher. It was one with him. I haven't read it yet, but it was one with the cover had Punisher and Ghost Rider on it. Oh, that's cool. And of course, it's Mark Texeira, so it's just like the cover is just absolutely insane.
Yeah,
and Diane Amiel, what's your mother?
Yep, that's my mom. Diane.
This has been enjoyable. I have to tap up.
Yeah, she works hard, so she's got. All right. Well, thanks, Mom. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining.
Bless her heart. She's not into comics like I am, but you know what? She's all like, yeah, if you want to talk about it, I'd like to learn about it. And I'm like, you're just the best. And like, I'll tell her some of the things I want to do with some of the more barbaric stuff I want to do with him, and she's all like, oh, that's nice. that's nice.
Frightening, but nice.
Yeah, it's like, hey, what, oh man, yeah. Do I need to call somebody? Or, yeah.
And, do you guys have any comic friends where you live, or is it mostly internet buddies?
It's pretty much all internet buddies for me. I have some friends that like comics, but none of them create.
Yeah, I don't know anybody in the area.
Yeah, same here.
Well, they this year actually, a few weeks ago, just had the very first ever Omaha Comic Con, and it was a one-day thing. And of course, I didn't know about it until like a week before, and I already had plans, so I couldn't go. But yeah, I don't know. It was weird. It was one of those things because I looked up the website and I didn't recognize anybody that was on that site that was there. But I mean, some of the stuff looked pretty cool. But
that's cool.
But yeah, it's slowly starting to build. The comic indie scene's not very huge here in Omaha, but it's starting to get a little bit of life going. A lot of those artists actually were from Kansas City. I noticed, or like Denver or something that they brought in.
How about you? Have you been to any cons?
No. I'm trying to think of the last convention I went to. The last convention I went to, I had a table at. Um, I was supposed to go. I was supposed to table at the Pittsburgh Three Rivers this year. I just couldn't do it. I wanted to finish issue 4. Like at a certain point, like marketing is great and tabling is great, but I need to produce some things.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'll go when I have issue 4 done.
There you go. Yeah, I'll admit I've never done the table, having the table or booth or whatever at the con, but that's always been one of those like bucket list things for me. Be one of those guys behind the table. It's always been one of those things I just thought, oh man, that'd be fun.
It is fun. I like talking to random people.
Sure.
Some people hate it, but I like it. So if you like that, it's even if you don't sell a bunch, even if you don't get picked up by Netflix or something. It's an enjoyable time, and then you get to meet other artists.
Yeah.
So every con that I've done, I've had a really good time.
Awesome.
I recommend it, and they do cost money, so that can be cost prohibitive depending on where you're going. But if you can do them, they can be pretty fun.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm hoping the first one they just had here at in Omaha, I'm hoping that did well enough to have them come again next year, maybe a little bigger, do a couple days at least. I haven't really checked in to see how well attended that was, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a local con that I've gone to twice. Not
Okay.
behind the booth, but I don't know if I have to check the rules, but I thought when I have a book, maybe get one of those little vendor trays.
Yeah.
That way, so you're not just stuck behind the booth, and you can actually go throughout the con.
You mean like one of those like when you go to a baseball game, the people have like the hot dog things like that? Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know the.
Get your comic books here. Get your comic books here.
$2.
Right. Only $2. There you go. Get your books here. Get them on the wall.
Toss
like whipping the books at people. Yeah.
Yeah. Duck.
Better hope it's not a hardcover.
Right. Look at that, so folks. It serves multiple purposes: entertainment and self-defense.
But I wonder why no one's done that, as far as I know.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I don't know.
Seems like it'd be cheaper than a booth, but.
Well, tell you what. When you do it, tell me how it goes, because I might do it afterwards.
That's a great idea.
I mean, the trays are like $16 on Amazon.
Okay. No, I'm one of those people. Like I don't have a lot of shame, so. If there's a way to be loud, obnoxious, I will usually find it. So if I have to go out there and just start barking, like, "Hey, get your comic here," I'll gladly do it.
Yeah, it's. I'm not a big sales guy.
Oh, really?
Like if people seem interested, I like talking to them. But for Horace H. Hoover, it's a unique genre. I don't even know what genre it is, honestly. Like
I love it.
Thank you, but
yeah.
it's a hard
house appliance, supernatural detective comic.
Yeah, it's a pulp supernatural.
Yeah, but people walking by, like I see on their faces, they kind of chuckle and then they just keep walking a lot of times. So it's not as easy, like a genre to nail down than other things. So
now, one of the suggestions from Dave Sims' like book on publishing was to, well, I think this was also Please Hold They mention it, but having a shtick for your comics. So like if someone buys 2 copies, they get a free drawing.
Hmm.
Or like one guy was doing, if you got, he'd do sketches of you as an alien and put you in the book.
Oh, fun.
Issue. Yeah, so uh, having kind of like a shtick to get people interested is one way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing that he recommends is don't ever draw other people, like the DC characters, draw them your character dressed as the characters.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
That kind of makes sense.
Might work more with an aardvark than maybe a barbarian, but who knows?
I'm sure. I don't know. I'm sure I could put Domini in an Iron Man suit or something. Who knows?
I was squeezing out because of like muscles are.
Yeah, the suit just constantly ripping as he tries to fit in it.
Yeah.
I could have him in a. I just figured. Yeah, I just had an image of him trying to put on the Ant-Man suit, and it not working. And then Hank Pym was like, "Don't worry, I can grow it. Perfect." So I figure if all else fails, I'm good at entertaining myself. So, but yeah, that whole marketing and publishing and all that, that's a world that I know very little about, but I'm really anxious to learn more about it. I just was watching a stream. Actually, I think Fabrizio, you were on it the other day with I'm blanking on the name now. The guy you guys were kind of pitching your books together.
Ben Soto?
Yes, Ben Soto. Yeah. I was just watching that earlier today while I was drawing and watching, talking about the Fund My Comics. Yeah, that first guy that went, he had the really cool sounding kind of fantasy book he was doing, and yeah, he's like, I just threw it up there, and thankfully some people are interested. And I just thought, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, that's just the market I don't know much about. So, like, I can come up with ideas. I'm pretty good at coming up with ideas, but yeah, again, I don't have a whole lot of practical experience. So, like, I'm sure, like a lot of things, my ideas sound great to me, but then when you look into it, it's like, yeah, there's a reason people don't do that.
I mean, I'm unconvinced that the reason comics are selling have anything to do with the content of the comics.
That's
I think right now, at least, it has a lot to do with, do you have a YouTube channel with a following? Do you... There's a lot of other reasons I think people are buying the books, at least in the indie sort of sphere.
That's fair.
So it's like you can either have a really good book, or you can have a YouTube channel that does well, or you can have a following, or you can...
Right.
Like, there's definitely different avenues. Now, I don't have a successful YouTube channel or a successful comic, so I really, I
wouldn't sell yourself short on that. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a YouTube channel that I watch, Dad's Den of Pop Culture. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of his stuff, but he's popped up in Graybeard's chat. Yeah,
and I really like him, and he reviewed Horus, like, issue number 2, like a year or two ago, and he got it with the Alterna bundle. And it was a really interesting interview because he said, and he just got the bundle, so he didn't know anything about Horace H. Hoover. And he said, now when I saw this, I was like, I don't know. Is it going to be cutesy? Is it humor?
Yeah.
He kind of gets into it, and then he says, oh, I loved it. I thought this was great, blah, blah, blah. But that was invaluable because, like, that's the initial, like, impression that he had, It wasn't an easily identifiable book. He wasn't sure what to expect.
I heard Bone started out like that too.
What's that?
I heard Bone started out like that too, where people had trouble identifying what it was, and so you
Okay, yeah.
struggled finding a market. But it eventually caught wind, and that one
Yeah, I
was
think
more of all ages, I think. And
I really think it's that more than anything is just getting it to people and they know what the hell you're doing.
Right. Well, I mean, one of the reasons I thought, I'm going to go with my barbarian story for the beginning, outside of, just giving myself something I feel like I could draw well enough, was, I'm a big fan of the genre, and I just thought, especially lately, there hasn't, outside of, Core Draft or whatever, but there's not been a lot of great barbarian stuff out there.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this is something that I can try to have some fun with, put my own spin on. And I mean, the last stream I did where I was penciling the page, I had quite a bit of really good feedback of people coming in and, oh, that's, yeah, absolutely. And then we got talking about, some of those old barbarian movies and comics back in the day, and it's like, yeah, where are all the big barbarian stuff right now? Outside of like Conan. I mean, the current Titan Conan, I'm way behind on it, but I mean, that book is awesome. But again, like everybody knows Conan, so it's like, where are the original guys? And I'm sure there's some out there that I'm just not aware of that are great, but
I know when I was in college, my second school I went to, one of my classmates was doing a barbarian story with dinosaurs.
oh, cool.
I don't know what happened to that story, but
Well, whenever I play RPGs or D&D or whatever, I'm always the barbarian or the tank.
It's funny because I don't play a lot of D&D, but I have played over the years.
Sure.
And I only have ever played like thieves. And I'm like, does that say something about me? Like
yeah.
I always play like the wizard or the magicians.
Yeah, see, I don't have the patience to keep track of spell slots, so I'm just like, just let me hit things. That's just me. But
that was in Skyrim, and I played a Aragonian.
Okay.
That was one of my characters that I made. That was supposed to be like a villain. He was a necromancer cannibal.
Oh, nice. As you do.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get like pulled into court, and they're going to be like, well, if you can see, Fabrizio's last 10 characters were all like thieves and assassins. So surely he did this horrible deed that he's accused of.
Right. Well, I remember. I gotta find it, but yeah, when my group I played with a while ago, we found this list of little like mottos and idioms of the different classes. They're meant to be funny, and the barbarians one was, if violence doesn't solve your problem, it means you're not using enough of it. And I just thought, well, as someone who plays a lot of barbarians, it's like, kind of like that thing. Kind of like you're saying, it's like, maybe I should learn a little bit more about myself. But yeah, I tried playing a wizard. I tried playing a sorcerer once just to like shake things up, and again, my natural instinct is just to charge in and go to melee, and obviously you can't do that with wizards.
See, I always used combo of melee and magic.
Gotcha.
So if the spell doesn't work, I use violence.
There you go.
I like to just tell the like spellcasters what to do. Like, why don't you just cast X and then let me backstab or something? They love that.
I think
I'm sure.
You can imagine.
Fabrizio's car for office supplies.
Yep. Well, it's the other thing about the tank is you get to yell at all your spellcasters because they don't care about the area of effect damage, or they're just like, "You're a barbarian, you can tank it, right?" You're like, "Hey, guys." And, next thing you know, you're just getting enveloped in a fireball, and you're just like, "Yeah, it's like you're good, right? You got this." So, Fabrizio, I got to ask, you probably might be sick of this question, so you can tell me not to worry about it if you don't want. But where does an idea like Horace H. Hoover come from? Or where does that idea come from of a guy that has a vacuum cleaner and on his head and takes on pulpy type creatures? I mean, I love the idea, but I was just kind of curious, like, where does something like that come from?
Yeah, so I actually like fine art as well. So I used to do these big, like, portraits.
Okay.
And like big ones, like 20 by 30. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do like some caricature stuff. So I went up and I did like a circle head, and I did that like in a photo reel, and then I did this shape, and and the one day I'm like, all right, I haven't done like a rectangle head, so I'm just doing like a gesture, and I do like just a portrait, and I do the shoulder, and then I do a big rectangle for the head, and I put the ear there, and I'm like, huh, that kind of looks like a vacuum cleaner. And then I'm like, I put another wheel. I'm like, that was like an old canister. Then I do the hose.
Yeah.
And it just made me chuckle, and I just set it aside, and that was that.
Sure.
And then I just kept, every time I like sat down to doodle or something, I just kept on like working on the character.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, not even consciously. It was just some doodle, and eventually I kept on picturing scenes. And then I would like, and it was funny because I'm working on like game art or something.
Yeah.
I would like doodle something, and I'm like, I gotta remember that, and I would like tape it on my wall. And like at a certain point, my room looked like the third act of a serial killer movie where it's like just covered in random sketches. I'm like,
the strings between them and all that. Oh yeah.
I think I should do something with this. And then I just started like asking myself, why would somebody wear a vacuum cleaner on their head? What,
Yeah.
And I just, and I love that pulpy sort of supernatural occult stuff.
Sure.
I love like British kind of humor, like real dry stuff, and I just kind of crammed everything into the story that I like.
That's awesome.
So
that's cool, man.
And the funniest part is, I just did it because I thought it was funny, and then people would see it and like, oh my god, that's so fun. I'm like, really? You think that? I mean, I know I think it,
Yeah.
But it's weird that you would think that's funny too.
Wait, you actually like what I like too?
Yeah. So that's
cool,
really
man.
weird. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. The truth is, he was vacuuming one day. I was like, this looks like a...
Huh. Yeah. Well, that's funny. Yeah, because I know like in the UK they call vacuums Hoovers, right? So that immediately.
Brand too.
Well, that too, but yeah.
Yep.
So that made me think of that. Well, I like you. Yeah, I love that dry British humor, and a lot of that British humor, you probably know, a lot of that gets pretty morbid, which I love.
Yeah.
That dry, morbid British humor. And but no, I really liked the old language that you gave them, and all those big words. I find that stuff fun. I actually had to look some of those words up, so, which is not a bad thing.
Okay. I was going to say I apologize and don't apologize because
No.
I at first I did the language and I sent it to somebody to take a look at it, and
Mm-hmm.
they kind of complained about the language, and I
Really?
said, "Yeah, but that's just the way he talks, and
Yeah.
like what's the worst thing that you have to do? Look something up? Okay, then you look it up, and
Exactly.
you're fine."
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing an old Stan Lee interview where someone was talking to him about that, how he would once Fantastic Four took off and he was kind of able to really do what he wants. He started using all those big words like cataclysmic and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and yeah, he said, yeah, ideally, if a kid came across a word they didn't understand, they'd either figure it out through the way it was used in the story, or if they had to go into the dictionary, that's not the worst thing. So,
yep,
um, and like one of the reasons I've been having so much fun with those, Edgar Rice Burroughs books or the H.P. Lovecraft is there is a lot of old, language and stuff that um, sadly has gotten lost, and it's just like, man, that's really fun to listen to. It's like fun to read. You just discover all these old
yeah.
words. Like I'm a sucker for accents and language, and I just love all that stuff. So for me, yeah, so that was right up my alley. But yeah, that's something I love reading those old books. Is like you just feel like I'm getting smarter because I can drop this big word.
Yeah, you just store them up for Thanksgiving dinner and then just
Exactly.
lay them on people.
Right, and then you just sound really smart. Well, it's funny. Well, my stepdad he's a doctor, so I picked up a few words from him. One of my favorite ones is sophoncified,
Whoa.
which means you're full, like you got done eating. So I would say I am sufficiently sophoncified. And
Safansify.
yeah, so there's one for you.
That's a good word.
Right? Sophoncified.
It's funny because me and my one friend, we like to read, right? And we
Sure.
like language. So
Yeah.
we try to use words like that and hey, good word, this and that. And I remember asking him like, okay, what's your favorite word? Because I'll work it into Horace H. Hoover.
Yeah.
And his favorite word is pulchritudinous, uh, which is a fantastic word. It means
Good.
pulchritudinous. It's like beauty.
Pulchritudinous.
Pulchritudinous, yeah.
Pulchritudinous. Okay, sorry, what does it mean?
Like basically beauty. So it's
Oh.
hilarious because it sounds like an insult. Like
Yeah.
as your pulchritude like exuded.
Pulchritudinous. Well, it sounds like it's something you have to go to the doctor for to get cut
Yeah.
off. And that's fun.
So I'm like, I'll work that in someplace.
Do you ever get words stuck in your head, like like how people get songs stuck in their head? And you just get certain words that just play in your head, or is that just me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Like for a long time, yeah, like I'll just like the word indubitably. I'll get that one stuck in my head a lot.
I got rigmarole. Rigmarole.
Rigor mortis.
It's rigmarole.
Rigmarole. Okay.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
one got stuck for a while. Helps if you actually can pronounce the word too.
Yeah. Generally, yeah. We get there. We got it. We get there.
Yeah.
Rigmarole. No, I love that. Or
I feel like I always have trouble with the R sound.
rigmarole.
Yeah, I find having a word stuck in your head's a lot better than having a song stuck in your head, especially if it's music you don't have to.
Right. Well, yeah. Oh, that's true. I'm a music nut too, so I'll randomly get songs like I haven't even heard that, like a song I haven't even listened to in God knows how long, and it'll just randomly creep in my head, and then it just won't go away. Like recently, I had a song. It took me forever to realize it was an REO Speedwagon song. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? I'm like, nothing against REO Speedwagon, but it's not like I really listened to them much. So I'm like, where the heck did that song come from?
See, your brainwave just got in tune with the radio. So.
Apparently, yeah. I just hit the FM radio station, and all of a sudden, I'm just going, "Heard it from a friend who," you're just like.
Have you ever had those instances where you hear the song in your head and then you turn on the radio and it's
That's creepy.
Oh wow.
That's funny.
Happened once in a great while.
Yeah, not that I recall. I'm sure that's happened, but no, I spent many years throughout college and several years after college driving a car that did not have a working radio or sound system. So I got really good at entertaining myself
Yeah.
through either singing random songs or practicing my voices or thinking out loud, as I call it, not talking to myself. I think out loud.
Yeah. The worst
And
is when you have a long drive and you suddenly get a good idea for a story.
oh yeah, that happened to me when I was on my way to Ohio. Like I was thinking about some of my Domini story because I was stuck on something, and then yeah, as I was driving, I'm like, dang it, I still got 7 hours left till I get there. So I can write it down.
Yeah.
Don't forget it. Don't forget it.
Yeah, and then you forget it.
Of course you do.
Or if you get an idea, like right before you go to bed, you better write it down. Or else
Oh
you're
man. Oh man.
Yeah.
So do you guys take a lot of notes on your stories?
I probably should. To be honest, I don't know. I tend to just kind of think it out in my head, and then I don't know the stuff that like I feel like it nags at me, like I just can't get it to go away out of my head. Then I'm like, okay, maybe that might be worth something looking at. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but
I've started dedicated notebooks for my stories.
I should do that. Well, like I have a story I came up with years ago that I still want to do eventually. It's like I said, I worked a lot of customer service jobs and back in the day, and there was this movie that came out. I can't recommend it to everybody, but it's called God Bless America. If you're familiar with Bobcat Goldthwait,
Yeah.
it's a weird movie, but it's I don't know, it's kind of funny. But anyway, so I'm stealing a little bit of that. So I have these two characters. They're half brothers that go around and they go help the people in the smaller towns that the big corporate superheroes are just too busy to bother themselves with, and they come across this cult of serial killers that are formed by customer service workers of the town. And I just had this image in my head of like the first page of each issue is going to be loosely based off of an actual customer interaction I've had.
That's funny.
And then then all of a sudden it just cuts to their murder scene, trying to figure out the crime scene of that angry customer's murder, trying to figure
That
out.
reminds me of the movie Hot Fuzz.
Oh, I love Hot Fuzz.
That's a great movie.
I love that movie. You saying it wasn't an accident?
Well, I can't want to say accident because it means it implies no one was involved.
It's traffic collision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
Me and my wife's language forever changed with the word yarp. we don't say yes, we say yarp, and we have for like 10 years now. We just don't say yes anymore. We having pizza for dinner? Yarp.
Yarp.
Did you guys ever see the series Spaced?
I've seen some episodes of it for sure. That was fun. It was the TV show that Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and Edgar Wright had before they did all the movies. And it's a lot of fun. You can see a lot of the kind of the prototype humor that you'll eventually see in those movies. It's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, and his character is a comic artist.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So my only complaint is that whenever they show us art, it's never interiors; it's all pinups.
Gotcha.
I didn't catch
budget for maybe.
Yeah, possibly. But
that's fun.
I didn't catch that when I first watched it, but now that I've gone to school and I've done apparently, like, he's not doing any interiors. He should be working on making his own book.
Right.
Especially since they showed that he had the idea for the book.
Yeah, I haven't seen that show. Yeah, I gotta watch that show again. I watched a handful of episodes back in college a long time ago, but yeah, that show was fun. I do remember one scene where they like they were playing, like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. They were playing video games in their living room, and then one of their neighbors comes in, and then they just have this epic finger gun shootout.
Oh yeah.
And it's hilarious, but like they play it like it's just this epic shootout, and they're all just using finger guns. And I'm like, this is just the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, they do it later in the episode too. Him and the girl. It was supposed to be the psychic bond between men.
Okay.
Because Brian's like talking about how women have a psychic bond and stuff like that, and then Mike's like, men have it too, and then he's like, really? And then they start doing the finger guns and throwing a knife.
Yeah. Again, I watched that when I was in college, so my roommates and I would randomly just start breaking out into finger gun shootouts. We just confuse everybody that was hanging out with us. I didn't know.
The one part I think of is like the character Daisy when she has to get a job, and she complains like, I'm not a mopper, I'm a creative, and I'm a writer. And then the lady's like, well, they're all writers. You're not special.
Right.
Every time when I work retail or whatever, and I find out someone's a writer, or an artist, I think of that line.
Well, there's a lot of truth to that. Well, one of my go-to jokes is I got a degree in film, which is why I worked in banking for 5 years.
Yeah.
Because it's just, yeah, it's like, well, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, who was it? I was listening to a podcast with Kevin Conroy, and they were talking about he wanted to volunteer for some food drive thing, and they asked him if he had any restaurant experience, and he just goes, "I'm an actor. Of course, I got restaurant experience."
Yeah. Technically, we all have restaurant experience. It's just not probably what they think.
Yeah, I have a lot of experience eating at restaurants.
Yes.
I've never worked at. Yeah, I was a retail guy. You understand?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like we all have experience eating at a restaurant.
That's true. I'm really good at eating at restaurants.
Yeah.
Very, very skilled at that.
Professional eater.
I'm way too good at it, I would say. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize. I learned when I moved out here in Omaha. I guess per capita, Omaha has more restaurants than any city in the country.
Yeah, because Omaha steaks.
Oh, God, but they're so good. Yeah, I know. Well, when I first moved out here, my stepdad's like, oh, we got to take you here to eat. We got to show you this place. And I'm just like, okay. And then you're like, oh, my God, I can't do it, but it's so good.
Gained 50 pounds just from moving to Omaha.
Oh, no, that's not even a joke. Well, it's funny. Well, because I'm from Michigan originally, and it's like, I thought we had good food in Michigan. And then I moved to Omaha and went, oh, this is what food's like. Just kidding, Michigan. Pasties are great.
That made me think of in King of the Hill when they go to like the organic food, and they're like, the tomatoes have flavor. Like, what have we been eating all this time?
We've been eating all this junk for all this time.
Which they recently did the reboot of that series.
Yeah, I remember you saying that it was pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I love the original show.
Yeah, it still retains a lot of the spirit. There's a few changes, of course, like there's no Ladybird.
Oh, really? Oh, well, yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, there.
Yeah, and they haven't shown what Luann's doing yet.
Okay.
And then a couple of the voices changed because the guy that did Dale Gribble's voice died.
Right.
And the guy that did Khan's voice died.
Right. Yeah, I heard about that. That was like, I didn't look into it, but apparently that one, That one had some crazy circumstance to it, apparently.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't know. I mean, I saw it randomly while I was scrolling online, so take that with a massive grain of salt.
Yeah.
But
Internet rumors.
yeah, well, one of my favorite posts of all time on the internet from several years ago was it was a quote. It said, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet." Signed, Abraham Lincoln. And so you just kind of learn. You're just like, well, it's on the internet, so it's clearly true, right?
Yeah, we're on the internet. So yeah,
Exactly.
believe
Well,
us.
everything we say is true, totally, 100%. But no, yeah, there's one scene in The King of the Hill that just will never not be funny to me. I know. I think Faye, I think you were probably in my stream when I told that story in that episode, but yeah, it's one where like this very attractive girl starts working at the extermination company with Dale, and she's clearly flirting with him, and he's just so oblivious to it, and he's just like, oh no, she's just really eager to learn the art of exterminating, kind of thing. And like everyone's warning him, and everyone's trying to like, dude, hey, you gotta watch out. And he's just like, oh no, to the point where like towards the end of the episode, they're literally having a picnic at night out in the park together, and she eventually like puts her hand on his knee, and then all of a sudden his eyes go wide, and he just goes, wait a minute, are you trying to know me? And I don't know, that cracks me up every time.
See, my favorite is when Dale works for human resource, gets the job as human resources, and he's firing people. That was a good one.
That was good. There's
like
another good one
the
where
season or
what was the question?
do you guys like the new season?
I haven't watched it yet.
I have, and I liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I was,
good.
I said it retained a lot of the spirit the original had, but there is a few changes in voices.
Yeah, because it's still Mike Judge behind it, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, well, he does Hank, and I'm a big fan of Mike Judge. That happened by accident because I'm just like, I like this and I like this and I like this. Oh wait, those are all done by Mike Judge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh! Like Office Space is one of the greatest all-time comedies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would say the best one is Brazil.
I need to rewatch Brazil. I watched it in one of my film classes, and I did not understand it. I need to rewatch it.
Like my favorite part is when the guy gets eaten by the paperwork. Pretty much.
Good old Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it again.
I also liked the movie The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Oh yeah, I never saw that one. I heard that was good. Trying to think other good Terry Gilliam films. I really like 12 Monkeys. I thought it was great.
Time Bandits was another one of his.
Oh, yeah. That's one that's on my list.
Brothers Grimm was good.
Oh yeah, that was Gilliam, wasn't it?
I didn't know that.
That was Gilliam. I did like that.
It was probably his least weird movie, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, the girl's face coming off in the mud was a little weird.
I've always said.
Good.
I was gonna say, I've always said if anybody directed a Horace H. Hoover movie, it would be Terry Gilliam. I feel like that would
I could see that working.
I could see that. Yeah, for sure.
It definitely has that flair of humor too.
Yeah, I love that.
He did he consulted on the Fisher King.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Oh, he consulted? I thought he directed that.
No, he only directed one scene, and that was in the train station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's another one that's on my list.
He has a YouTube channel, and he talked about it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
See, most of my experience with Terry Gilliam is through Monty Python.
Right.
like the Flying Circus, and obviously the Holy Grail and all that. I haven't seen a ton of his movies outside of like I said, I watched Brazil, and I don't think I was in a place to really fully appreciate it at the time. So I'm just like, what is it with all this weird like plastic? Everything looks, and you're just like, I don't get it. And well, of course, that was a time when like everyone was, in film school, everyone was all about Christopher Nolan. Like he was the big,
Yeah, I never liked Christopher Nolan.
I like some of his stuff.
Yeah, some. Yep.
Yeah, like I like Memento.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the movie I knew him from. I'm like, oh my god, Christopher Nolan's gonna be doing more movies, and then it's like, oh, like it's not. It's like a totally different direcer. It really feels like
Yeah, it just feels like he's trying to show off how smart he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
His characters are always really flat too.
Yeah. Like I think he does have some good directing style, like choices and stuff like that on occasion, and he has some interesting ideas, like Tenet, for example. Like just if you ignore the concept of what's happening, like just individual scenes, you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. But there's literally a line in the movie where the scientist who's explaining how everything works, she literally says, "Don't think too hard about it."
Yeah.
There's literally a line in the movie, and you're like, okay. And I'm like, and tell me you don't know how nerds are with one line.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I want to understand this.
Yeah, I was baffled by that movie. Just baffled.
Yeah.
I mean, Dunkirk was brilliant, I thought.
Yes. I would agree.
I liked Insomnia too with Al Pacino. I thought that was a great movie.
I would agree.
There was something about the filming of Dunkirk I didn't like. It seemed very detached from the characters, and they're like when he's running through, it's just kind of panning, and so I didn't really grasp onto that movie very much. I mean, I like a good war movie, but that one just
Well, I'm a history buff, so like that alone was enough for me to. But I'm with you on that. I enjoyed it, but I mean, obviously everyone when they say Nolan say his best is probably The Prestige, which is hard to argue.
Yeah, great movie.
But I don't know. For me, that one's a close second to Memento. Because the first time I saw Memento, I was just questioning reality when the movie was over.
Yeah, and I mean the Dark Knight or the Batman stuff is okay. I've never. It's like okay.
Right, I would agree. Like they're fine movies, but I don't think they're the greatest Batman movies.
Yeah, the first one's okay. I didn't really like the second one. Bane felt a little weak.
Yeah. Oh, The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was fine. I didn't hate him. I thought The Dark Knight had some great moments, but I've seen and done too many parodies of the Christian Bale Batman voice that like I can't take those movies seriously anymore. And no, it was actually hilarious because my mom heard me do the Christian Bale, he must have friends, that kind of thing forever, and I've forgotten that what she done it. So we finally had some people over and we were watching the Dark Knight Rises. We had some friends over and she was there, and then like he's on the roof talking to Catwoman doing that voice. My mom just suddenly just bursts out laughing because she remembers my impression of that, and I'm just like, yep, I can't do it now. And it's like, I mean, there's a lot I like, but yeah, it's just that whole like he must have friends. You're just like, where's the trigger? And you're just like, okay.
Yeah. And it's like he's across the room doing the whisper.
Yeah.
And the criminal wouldn't be able to hear him.
Yeah, well, like he's literally talking to people that know his secret identity, and he's still doing the voice. I don't know if you guys remember College Humor back in the day on YouTube.
Yeah. Yep.
They had some really good Batman parodies. They had one where it was like the Riddler, and he had Rachel tied up and a gun pointed at her, and he's like, "You aim to give us a shot. What am I?" He's like, "Oh, that's a stepper." And gotta be a helicopter. You know? And the schoolboy Sunday trousers. And you're like, what? And so that definitely didn't help me with those movies. But
Yeah, I didn't watch.
Good.
I didn't watch much of the College Humor.
See, they were at their best probably when I was in college, so I was like at that right age.
Yeah.
They actually were funny back then. But are you guys Guy Ritchie fans?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I even
familiar
like
with his work.
Yeah, I even like the bad ones. I liked King Arthur.
I started watching it. I haven't had a chance to finish it, but I liked what I saw of it. Faye, if you're not familiar, he did Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, which in my opinion, Snatch is one of those like perfect movies.
Yep.
The
Sherlock movies.
Yeah, I liked those. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
I thought The Gentleman was awesome, like a nice return to form. I watched the first episode of the Netflix show and loved it. I need to get back. I need to watch more of that. But I thought the movie was fun. It was kind of a return to form.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
But no, I wrote a paper about Snatch when I was in film school, breaking it down, like why it was awesome.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. And
yeah, the Sherlock movies I think are some of my favorite movies.
Really?
Yeah, like the thing I love about it is they function as like black and white movies almost.
Okay.
Like they're so desaturated, but then if you look around, it's like white buildings and white paint, and it functions almost like a black and white movie. So visually, I think it's like stunning. I hate that word, but to use.
Hey, when it fits. No, okay. You know, it's been a while since I've seen those. I'm gonna have to rewatch those. But that's fun. That's cool. But yeah, no, I remember having a lot of fun with those in the theater when I saw them. I like the whole slow down action, you know, where he's like planning out his attack, you know, his hits and stuff before he lands them. And I always thought that was kind of a cool touch.
Yeah, like I think I don't know when it happened. I feel like it was the Bourne Identity era.
Yeah.
Of like the fast cuts and you have no idea what's going on.
Right. I love those movies, but yeah, I agree with you. The action, you're just like, wait.
Yeah, they were great movies.
Show me something. Yeah, after a while, that shaky cam, you're like, for the love of God, get a tripod.
So whenever Zack Snyder did like 300 and slowed everything down, I'm like, okay, this is like impactful and I can see what's going on.
Yeah. I love 300. I don't even know how many times I saw that in the theater when that came out. I was like that. I was just like, oh, gross.
That's another one of my favorite comic books. It's a perfect comic.
God, it's been a long time since I've read that, but yeah, I remember that being really, really fun. I
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Let's see.
Hello. Yeah, I recently found a really nice volume of Batman Year One and Dark Knight Returns. That are very, very nice quality.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. I just got a new headset. So.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Year One's another perfect comic as far as I'm concerned.
I would have to agree with you on that. Yeah,
I need to read that one.
That scene where the Falcones are having dinner and the candles go out and he's just like, "Citizens of Gotham, you have eaten well." You're just like, oh,
It's so good.
I love it. Frank Miller had that way at that time where he could just punch you in the face with his dialogue, and I love that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, after all these years of me reading tons of comics,
Yeah,
it's undeniable that Frank Miller and Alan Moore rise to the top, as far as I'm
yeah,
concerned.
Yeah.
for sure.
Sheer volume of good stuff. There are other authors who've done like one great book, but
For sure.
I mean, you know. But the thing is, Alan Moore creates these amazing worlds and intricate characters. But like you said, Frank Miller just punches you in the gut.
Yeah.
So it sticks with you,
Right.
Like, and unfortunately, that's what you remember years and years later is like a line from Marv in Sin City, or
Yeah. Well, like from Dark Knight Returns, I always love that line where he's fighting the mob or the oh my god,
the mutant.
The mutants. Thank you.
Yeah.
The word I forgot. And yeah, it's the whole like, this is not a mud pit. This is an operating table, and I'm the surgeon. And it's just like, I remember the first time reading that, you're just like, oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's dialogue like that where when you're writing it, it's like, oh, is it cheesy? I don't know.
Right.
Is it over the top? Like,
Sure.
he goes for it, and then it becomes iconic.
Right. And well, that's something I admit I struggle with, because I'm writing a barbarian book, and so like I wanted to have those like badass one-liners, but like there's such a fine line between sounding awesome and sounding really stupid. And it's like like someone sent me I saw a clip of that Rings of Power show, and there's this scene where the guy's going he's talking, it's like a flashback, and Galadriel's young and her little toy boat sank, and her brother comes up and he goes, you want to know why a boat floats and a rock sinks? It's because the boat looks up and the rock looks down. And you're like, what? And so like it makes me wonder, like, okay, so like it may sound good in my head at a moment, but is it really going to be one of those things like that where you're just like, as soon as you say it, everyone's going to be like, oh
yeah.
Or like one of my favorite. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I say go for it. Like, because if not, you kind of like shrink back into cliche unknowingly.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
That's my 2 cents.
That makes sense.
But I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
Writing dialogue is one of the things that I try to capture the characters, the way they talk.
Sure.
It's definitely a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Well, see, I love writing dialogue. One critique I got in film school on my when I was turning a screenplay, my professor, I've never forgotten that phrase. He goes, "You really love the sound of yourself typing." Wow. And I was like, "What?" And it took me a second to realize. And he's like, "You got way too much dialogue."
Yeah.
and he's like, he was right. They would just kind of ramble, and it's like, you can tighten this up significantly and still get the same word across. And so like since then, I've kind of gone the opposite route now. Now I'm just like, am I using, I'm just trying to cut out like every single word that's not necessary. But then again, it's like, okay, am I just doing that for expediency, or is this actually helping out? And obviously when you got word balloons, you only got so much room and so much space to fit dialogue. So you got to be aware of that.
Well, you could do like Sim does, and do like pages where it's a single panel and then the words on either side.
Okay.
Like that.
Oh yeah. That's an idea.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dominic's not exactly a man of many words anyway. So,
Yeah.
but
Other
Elodie,
stories.
but my other character, Elodie, she's kind of a wisecracker. She's very selfish, very full of herself. At least at the beginning, anyway. And she's got a lot of those little like things like you will respect me, and he's just like respect is earned, and if you can't deal with that, then just leave, kind of a thing. And he's very just to the point.
Nice.
But
Yeah, I think if you get rid of too much dialogue, then you read the book in 5 minutes,
mm-hmm.
and it doesn't stay with you long enough to like
Right.
make an impact.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a
Well,
fine line.
right. Yeah, because that's something like I've heard Mike Barron say a lot. It's just like whatever you write less. That's like I've heard him say that a lot. Whatever you think you need, write less. But then it's like, yeah, but when do you, yeah, like you said, is there a point where it's just you're literally just looking at a page, you're just looking at images with nothing to go about. And some obviously there's silent panels that can work really well, but I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then everyone remembers some of those like Brian Bendis pages where it's just snaking balloons all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, well, when there's times when it's done right, you're like, okay, this is kind of cool. But
Yeah, I mean Chris Claremont didn't hold
oh my
back.
God, yeah.
Nobody really complains about him. I mean, they
Right.
kind of do, but not to a point where it detracts.
Chuck Dixon does.
Really?
Oh yeah, if you ever watch his Ask Chuck Dixon videos on YouTube, oh yeah, it's one thing he says a lot is, oh boy, talk about a guy who just won't shut up. Basically, no, he didn't say it quite that mean, but yeah, he's just like, oh man.
It's funny.
But I mean, obviously that's to taste too. But
Yeah, I've always been okay with a lot of dialogue, but I also started, early 80s. So
right,
there was a lot of dialogue. like,
right,
so, and I don't know if that's just I'm accustomed to it. So whenever I see a lot, it usually doesn't bother me unless it's obnoxious. And we
right,
all know when it becomes obnoxious, I think.
right, for sure.
Just
Yeah.
exposition dump and
Oh, yeah.
needless world building that we don't need that.
Should have
Yep.
happened throughout the story instead of just.
Yeah. Yep. And that's one thing I'm kind of doing with this because I can get way too caught up in world building. Like I love world building, and it's just you get to that point where it's like before you know everything about how the world works, but you still haven't created a character and an actual story to go in it, and you're like, crap.
Yeah.
Now how do I fit something in it? And I noticed a lot of comics that I really like. Like one book I really liked is Brody's Ghost by Mark Crilly. It's
okay.
it's one of those books I highly recommend to anybody. It's great. It's a great all ages book. With a little, it's kind of with a little murder mystery, and he's this normal dude who gets approached by this girl. She's like a teenager, and she's a ghost, and she needs him to help, track down a murderer, kind of a thing. And it's but what's cool is he does a lot of the world building with just the background images. Like you get the sense that this is some kind of futuristic, somewhat post-apocalyptic type world, but he never calls it out. It's just when you see a lot of these big wide shots or the backgrounds, a lot of things are very dilapidated and kind of worn down, but it's just cool. Like he just gives you just enough to let you fill in where it's going, and then moves on with the story, and it's pretty fascinating. So I'm kind of trying to take that approach with this book. It's like, as long as the characters are interesting and the story's there, you can kind of figure out some of the lore, fill it in, and hopefully, if people like this and does well, maybe I might have some more stories I can do with them where I can explain more, but I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Brody's Ghost, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've seen his videos. I've never read anything by him though.
Yeah. That one's my favorite, Brody's Ghost, by far. Actually, he did one called The Drawing Lesson. That was pretty fun. It was actually like he was trying to make a comic book story where about a kid learning to draw and while actually being a drawing lesson, like how to draw a book at the same time.
Interesting.
And it was actually pretty cool. It's a very, very fun, very, very cartoony art style, which is funny, which is interesting because Brody's Ghost is very much like a straight on like shonen manga style, and then the drawing lesson is more of a almost a I don't know, like a Peanuts style in a way, in a weird way. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
All right, I think I'm gonna bail here.
Okay.
Man, I never draw for 2 hours in a row.
Oh, really?
No. My hand is cramping. I already
Oh,
got
no.
brush.
Oh no! I gotta get some icy hot, and this has been great, man. This has been fun.
I'll make you full screen so we can see what you were working on.
Definitely. Oh, that's awesome.
This is. I didn't have any of this done today, so I think maybe another hour, and I can finish up this page. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
I like it. I love that tree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a great tree.
That panel down below there you go. Yeah, I love that tree, man. That's awesome. Was that all brush?
Yeah, it's all brush.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at those types of textures with the brush, but that's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it was nice chatting. Thanks for
likewise
inviting me, and I guess I'll see you next time that we do this.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good.
Next week be fine, or
I don't know if I can do weekly, but I mean, if you want to post it, I'll see. Sometimes I work late, so
sure.
It might be a little tough, but
okay,
I'll try.
We can do like maybe bi-weekly or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds
good.
Nice.
I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, man. Take it easy. You got to go too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess this is as good a time I can call it.
We should. That looks cool.
Oh, thank you. I got the bulk of it done. I still got a lot of random little details here and there, but this is what we got.
Nice.
So I got I'm going to be coming in with a dip pen and doing some more hatching and stuff, kind of along those lines, just to get some final details in. But this is the first page of the Domini and the Reluctant Dead.
Interesting story.
Thanks. Thank you.
Well titled. What's the premise?
Oh, so basically, Domini, he is a well-known barbarian of legend and very seasoned mercenary. There's, depending on where you stand, he's either a folk hero or a tyrant or a monster. And her name is Elodie. She is a kind of up-and-coming mercenary who's had some success, but she's hoping to rope Domini into helping her out on a assignment she's got, so she can kind of coast on his fame and fortune. And basically, they end up going to this village that has a odd curse of where there are some weird things going on with the dead in the village, like the bodies won't light when they try to burn them, things like that. And so they're trying to just figure out what's going on.
Sounds like an interesting barbarian mystery.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, it's going to be a mix of it's going to be a fantasy action horror, a mix of barbarian fantasy with a bit of Telltale Heart and some other stuff like that in it. And I think it should be a lot of fun. I'm not sure exactly how many issues I'm going to break it into. It just kind of depends on how many I'm needed to tell the story. But first issue right now is set to be 20 pages. I may or may not adjust that depending on how much I want to fit. But we'll see. But yeah, so this is where we're at.
Very cool. I'll show mine, and then
Yes.
it's still just pencils.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know how much you can see.
Yeah, it's a little faint, but there you go. Oh yeah, I can see.
And it's
That one
backwards.
Oh yeah, the mirroring for sure.
Yeah.
No, that looks awesome. That looks great.
I'll probably work on inking it some more tonight.
Sounds good. And I don't know if you can see it. I got my nice big blotch of ink on my hand, so that's exciting.
1 can a week.
I just noticed I got some blotches on my paper, and I'm like, "What's that?" And then I look at my hand, and I'm like, "Oh, sweet."
Oh yeah.
So awesome.
Good.
That's what it's for. So it's all good.
I do notice that Fabrizio wears one of the black gloves, like the 2-finger gloves. I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that too. But
That might help.
maybe, or I could just put paper down, and who knows? We'll see.
I just use these pens.
Yeah. I've been going back and forth between using those pens, and yeah. What kind of pen is that?
It's a Karataki,
Oh, okay.
like the ones Lopresti got.
Yeah. I'm let's see. I've been kind of obsessed with these as I'm just dumping them all over my desk trying to pull one out. These Unipin brush pens.
Oh yeah.
These things are really cool. And then I got these Tombow. I'm turned into a massive Tombow fanboy.
Yeah. I also got Le Pen.
Le Pen.
Yeah, these are pretty good.
Okay.
I got them at Hobby Lobby. They were on sale.
Okay. This has been another obsession of mine. These are dual tip. I only use the black tip side, but yeah, that I love the way this brush tip feels. It's just awesome. Nice.
This ran out pretty quick. And then these ones, I haven't quite figured out how to work them right.
Yeah, I've got some gel pens that apparently they're supposed to be good. I haven't been able to get them to work for me. I'm sure there's some magic to it I haven't figured out, but hopefully.
And then zigs.
Oh yeah. Oh, they make a fine liner? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got these on Amazon for $8.
Oh,
It
wow.
came like a pack of. Oh, I believe this one I got at the Dollar Tree.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. I will have to check those out.
Yep.
Soon.
Okay. Well, you have a good night.
Right. Thanks, you too. And anybody that watched, thank you
Yep. Thank you
very much.
to our 2 viewers.
Yay! Hello, welcome. Thanks, and we'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.